Meg Baskin, who's on the right there, she was an illustration major. She graduated in 2010, and she had a concentration in graphic design. And she was one of the main designers behind Hillary Clinton's presidential campaign. So designing all of the materials that you're seeing here that helped communicate her ideas and philosophy visually. Zach Bickle was a graphic designer. He graduated in 2015, and he designs both print and digital GIFs for Atlantic Monthly, which is a national literary magazine in the US. Noelle was an illustration major, and she started her own graphic novel called Nimona. And you can see Nimona shape-shifting through these different stories. It has received glowing reviews. It was also a finalist for the 2015 National Book Awards in Young People's Literature. Alex Fine, he graduated with me in 2002. He was an illustration major. He's worked for clients including Time Magazine, Newsweek, and Wired. He also now works in editorial, book publishing, and advertising, and there he is in the middle. You may recognize some of Kevin's work. You might have seen it online. He was an illustrator, or he's currently an illustrator for BuzzFeed, and he graduated from MICA's illustration department in 2012. But he is a staff illustrator on their creative department, so he does a lot of their animated GIFs. He'll also work on special projects. And then these are some different packaging designs he made for local companies. Chipotle is a big national chain in the US, and then Old Pro is a beer made in Baltimore. You may also recognize these girls. They are MICA alum. They created a TV show called Broad City, which is a comedy. They were in our general fine arts department, and they did a concentration in video, and then went on to create this TV show about their life in New York as young artists. And if you've seen the movie Brave or Monsters University, you've seen some of our student work. Jeremy Talbot on the top was an illustration major. He is now a character designer at Pixar. So he developed the characters of King Ferguson and Queen Eleanor. I think you can see a bit of a resemblance here. So it's not just the skills, but it's actually coming up with the ideas. He also created the character of Hank the octopus from Finding Dory, if you saw that. Austin Whitesell is a puppet fabricator for Leica Animation. And keep in mind, if you do have a company that's your dream job, that's something you can do as an internship, which is what he did. Austin did an internship with Leica, and it led to a job offer after graduating. William New now works for DreamWorks and Nickelodeon, and he is a background artist for them, so he's in charge of making the world in the background looked real, so designing all of the characters and the interactions between the characters and the environments. Matt Hoden is a graphic designer. He works for a big company called Under Armour that designs athletic equipment. It's actually based in Baltimore, so we have a lot of students that intern with them and then go on to work for them. But he's also designed advertisements for their national campaigns, which have been seen everywhere from on eBay to Amazon to ESPN. But we have students go into very different directions. We have the students made the TV show. We also have a student that's gone on to be a rapper named TT the Artist. Very unusual work, combining her interest in rap and filmmaking, and as well as kind of a community artist and activist. Brooks Kossover is a good friend of mine. He started a very important gallery in Baltimore called Terrault Contemporary. He was a painter, and you're seeing one of his pieces on the right there, but his real passion was curating. So he went on to start a gallery that's now one of the most successful young contemporary galleries in the city. Akhil was a fiber major. He graduated in 2015. He appears in a lot of his own work and explores his identity as a queer African-American Jamaican male. He does a lot of work using his own hair in weavings and combining that with fiber. And then finally, Jenn Stark, who is another friend of mine. She was a fiber major with a concentration in animation. And she makes these very intricate cut paper pieces. These are sculptures all made out of cut paper. Her work has been seen on MTV. She actually designed the MTV the MTV Video Music Awards in 2015, and she's also had work in the Smithsonian American Art Museum, and her work was on the cover of Cosmopolitan magazine.